Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and a wet welcome to this week's Walking Wednesday. I've done that joke already, doesn't matter. Yes, for one last week I'm in Tilgate because I thought, this is the actual, definite, final Walking Wednesday that I'm doing in Crawley. For sure, an absolute positive this time, because, yeah, teaching week starts on the 28th, so I'll be going up before that. And I will not be seeing this place anymore. As you might not be able to tell this, but there's way less people today. Again, because school started and because of the rain. I'm once again protecting the phone with the cover of it over the top to make sure the whole rain incident doesn't happen like last time. But at the same time, that means that it's much harder to hold it because the camera is actually on this side. Well, I say this side, I'm just going to point straight towards it. It's on the right hand side of my phone currently, and that's the hand I'm using to film. So, let's see, I'm going to swap like that, and that's better. Okay. I just have to be a little bit backwards today, that's fine. So yeah, I suppose I have 2 weeks worth of catch up to actually do because of the whole failure from last time. So I guess I'll start off with the Siren musical because that's what started before. I was waiting for someone who was on the other side. So I guess in that regard I will say once again congrats to everyone who's actually done that, who actually got a part, and also thanks for sending in your lines, because everybody, except I realise one person, who only has one line, have sent theirs in. So, I'm just waiting on her, and that's it. In fact, the last person to record their lines, really, is me. You've still got to focus on the songs, though, so once I get back, I'm definitely need to warm up my vocals, because I've got a lot of songs that I want to record. It's weird how that happens. Like, I can go for months without making a single song on YouTube, and then suddenly I think, oh yeah, I'm going to do more of these. That's just the way it goes, I suppose. So yeah, in fact I've got an Aphmau song that I want to write today. Because if you haven't heard, well, actually, this is a notification that I got from BB, and the fact that, he showed me what was going on Twitter, because I don't have Twitter. So, basically what's happening is, Andy, aka the Dragon Hat, has decided he's going to distance himself from the Minecraft community. He feels like he is no longer welcome, and he's considering not being in friends Minecraft content too, whether that means like physically. It seems like no matter what I do, the rain thing is going to happen. I've tried, but even with the cover on, it still seems like the rain seeps in. Oh well. More editing and rendering for me. Not that I haven't had enough of that because of something else that I'll say after this, but yeah, for now, the Dragon Hat, as I was saying, where that means he's going to be leaving voice acting for Minecraft stuff. Oh, and of course now the rain stops. Wonderful. This is very hot. So yeah, as I was saying, what was I saying? Oh yeah, again, the Dragon Hat. So, he felt like he was no longer welcome, and I was saying whether that means he's not going to voice act for other people, or is just going to not appear in regular Minecraft videos, aka stuff like Aphmau filler content, or her entire channel right now. We don't know what that means yet. So, I suppose we shall have to find out in time, but yeah, as far as I'm aware, you know, he's still very much mistaken, and we definitely appreciate him in the community. I don't know what's been happening. Like, what is it that about him that makes it feel like he's no longer welcome? Honestly, thinking it through now, he works full-time for Catface Studios now, so, you know, potentially he'll be doing something related. I know that Bin of Trash as well has decided to stop producing HD skins and such, so I don't know what she's going to be doing from now on, but I think she was freelancing anyway for them, so it might not make a difference. To her, I mean. To the community, absolutely. Because I'm sure that, you know, she has a very definite style. I'm sure that's going to change. But again, we shall see. Now, what I was saying before about me trying to render stuff is basically what's been happening is that I accidentally cracked the screen on one of my laptops. So basically, I have two laptops. One is usually for university stuff, or was supposed to be, and sometimes I use it for Zoom calls or better Discord audio quality, stuff like that, because I think its processing power, even though it's older, is actually better. But the other one had all of my files and software on it. It still has all my files, but some software I've transferred over. In fact, another thing I used that computer for in particular was to use the latest version of Audacity, which I've since got on the other computer, but that took some time. So yeah, now I've been processing the audio for the Siren Musical on a small laptop, which granted, I have done that for things like Through Her Eyes, but it's not something I usually in the habit of doing, let's say. Oh well. So basically what I'm doing now is BB requested to get the rest of the tag hunt video that I uploaded last week, because obviously that's not a complete package, and trim it down. The problem is that those files are .avi files, and I can't send them over without them taking forever, and they take forever because they are hours long. If anyone who's done editing before knows how big AVI files are compared to MP4s or WNVs, then you will know. So I'm rendering them now as WNVs, aka the smallest but still remaining some sort of quality to them, files that I can do, and we'll see where it goes from there, essentially. So, but the thing with that is that even though that's the plan, Vegas is taking longer than usual. It can sometimes take up to a day to render one file. And granted, until the first two big ones were, you know, the big ones, so they took longer. But I don't know. I'll have to see. I left one running while I'm out, but potentially it will suddenly jump up the hours or something, and I'll be there in the evening waiting for it. Which again has happened before. I've waited overnight for some of these files to render. So I'm really not sure at this point. And of course I also have to figure out how to actually back up my other files. Normally that's not a problem, but the thing is the expansion drive that I've got is running out of space. And I don't think we have time to order a new one before I go to university. And the idea is that I have everything, at least on the drive, so I can edit that when I go there. So basically what my plan is to delete a bunch of old files, because I don't tend to actually delete my videos once I have rendered them, just in case something happens to my channel and I need to, I don't know, use them. I need to re-upload them somewhere else. I have the same things still there and still ready. But yeah, I'm no longer able to do that because, you know, I'm running out of space even in the backup drive, which is quite astounding. So I'm wondering what to do, because I'm going through them, but it's quite a tedious process. Well, I suppose it should be done. It's like when I went through all of the old files of EasyVid, except for this time I'm not actually going to lose the files in question, because I don't know if I mentioned this, but beforehand, before I knew how to manually upload videos to YouTube, I basically used the function on the EasyVid app itself, the one that allowed you to type in your channel and it would upload the video for you. You could even put tags in. Now that I use tags, I can kind of see the importance of that. Again, not that I would have garnered much traction anyway, because those videos are still terrible. But part of the thing that happened was I started the folders was of each file that EasyVid made, of each project basically. All the folders had numbers on them according to what number project you recorded. So I don't know, I had like 1, 2. It happened again, what a surprise. So yeah, I had folders from 1 to 200 and something. And yeah, so even back then I was back then I was more prolific in terms of quantity than I am now of quality. So yeah, basically I had them there. I didn't know how to edit them properly, so I would just mostly make them raw, again with a few exceptions like some songs, but for the most part I just have them raw. And what happened then was I decided, okay, I need to have a system whereby instead of whichever project came first, I basically need to look at what's going on. What things are what, which files I need to delete. It's raining again. And which files I want to keep and label for posterity. And so I did just that, and it ended up backfiring, because even though I labeled them all, and my plan was to start basically uploading I was thinking of 3 videos a day. Again, would never happen now, because I just don't have the speed to do that because of quality reasons. And every time I give a video to someone else to edit, it takes months before they get them back. And for right now, I have no exceptions to that rule. So, yeah, basically, it's still mostly just me trying to embellish and refine these things. And even Tales to Niconorth, you think that there's not much editing that goes into that, but listen to the soundtrack, and then basically you'll know. It's the same with Pixelmon. That's why those, I was up till late at night making those, because it was required, basically, because I had the whole Pixelmon soundtrack, which I've used since. It's all a big process. But yeah, that process back then backfired because suddenly EasyVid couldn't recognize those files, and it took them off the project list. Which I think is why stuff like Galacticraft made it onto YouTube first, even though that was a failed modded Let's Play that I had no plans to continue. So, yeah, that's another thing. Sometimes I think back to those things like Galacticraft, for example, and I think to myself, honestly, that kind of makes sense that I took so long to do everything because my processing power was even worse back then. Everything would lag, and I didn't even have a mouse. So if you think things are bad now, people have commented on my FPS on my laptop currently. It's still going to be the same once. It's still going to be worse back then, basically. So what I was trying to get at with that is, well, I was going to say don't judge me now, but no, basically what I meant was I barely progressed at all there. Like some people were able to like get a bunch of resources they needed for the actual mod, even some new stuff that sometimes is rarer than diamonds or whatever, and just figure out how to do it in a few episodes. Whereas I'd be stuck there for ages. I mean, even Forges Pascal took me forever because I had no power. So yeah, if I ever continue that series, which I do want to do once I figure out the story, because again, it's one of those things that I've evolved past the level I was when I made Forges Pascal, and B, I just didn't know how I wanted to continue the story going forward. Because at first Forges was just, somebody surviving and trying to become a wizard at the same time in the worst of circumstances. By the way, I'm back at K2. And suddenly, but I had this whole background lore as well about how he did it and what was the reason behind him and his transformation. Ah, look, the gym is open. Over there. There you go. There, somewhere. That way. There. Yeah, again, I went on a ramble and I said I was going to catch up the last few weeks. Music Girl, Season 2, Episode 6 was, should be in development by now, but one of the actors got grounded, and therefore we don't know when she's going to come back, because she's in the very first scene, and barely anyone has sent their lines in. I don't know where Mimi is, I don't know where Nova is. Abby, I've got to deal with. But yeah, this is why I don't chase up the voice actors and direct them anymore. It's because it takes so long anyway to get their lines, I might as well have a smaller file to work through. Because I know what, it took a month to make Music Girl episodes before. And also I wonder about, the different editing qualities that people have. Like, with Monet's Kindmaster and I guess semi-fast pace, and Aiden's even faster pace with no Kindmaster and no walking animation. I actually don't know. What do people think? Because I know that I've got multiple people doing multiple styles. But the idea, of course, is to finish the season quickly, but also efficiently and to a good standard. Again, I can't rush these things. A lot of gacha tubers like this now are kind of where I was, where I was back when I was doing that, the EasyVid labeling. So, late 2015 or something. Basically, they're there now because they're actually able to produce stuff very quickly, not to the highest quality necessarily. People still watch, but I'm past the stage where I can justify doing that. Again, I've toyed with the idea of doing like a non-animated or even non-voice acted gacha project. I just can't. That was so 2018 me for a couple of months and no more than that. You know, I've got bigger plans, bigger projects, more ambitions. Even though I've achieved much success in a long time I've been on YouTube, I still feel like at this point I need to, you know, have evolved my craft essentially, and basically just be able to create stuff that's better. Be able to create stuff that's better. There's so many lorries today. This is a very noisy road and I need to get off it. So I made the mistake last time of going into K2. I'm not doing that again. So yeah, Mutant Go cars, send me your lines please. I need them. And yeah, in fact, more people have sent through Arise lines than they have Mutant Go lines, which is concerning again because that's not meant to come out until after episode 6. They're coming out in the order they are for a reason, basically. And should people get to see episode 6, they'll find out why. Yeah, although I did enjoy seeing the reaction. Okay, no more cars. I'll talk. Though I did enjoy seeing the reaction of everyone after episode 2 of Through Her aired, because people all were like, you know, complimenting the ship, you know, the romance between Phoenix and Empress. But you know what? I'm glad, because that was the idea. You're supposed to really feel for them, especially at that point. And I'm happy that came across. Honestly, I know how easy it is to create a ship, because it happens that, you know, in that live stream I did, everyone was trying to figure out, you know, the best ships or crack ships that you could have with all the Fallen Angels characters, even if they'd only appeared once. So like Adam and Zack, for example, first seen instantly. Sometimes I think it comes more down to the look of the characters rather than the story itself. But the way that Phoenix and Empress happened, I think people are starting to see, you know, how they interact with each other and how they play off each other's personalities. I mean, yes, you know, they did dress up, and I had somebody who actually came in and is good at designing characters to actually help out with the designs. Which, by the way, thank you, Bubblegum Pepper. However, what was I going to say? Nope, I forgot now. Yeah, no, completely forgot. Oh yeah. No. Yeah, however, I don't think it's down to the look, because of the enthusiasm behind it. Anyone can ship any character and put any amount of weight on said ship of said characters. But I feel like to get an enthusiastic reaction from people like that, and I'm not just tooting my own horn, I'm thinking about what other people have done that have, you know, inspired me, like Aphmau, for example, is just when you've dedicated time to building up that relationship. You know, to building out the way that people see each other in universe. And that might, like, boil down to how people see characters like Garth and Lawrence, for example. Again, going back to Garth, because he and Lawrence were, you know, considered to be, you know, the typical anime hot boys, when if you look at them, they are literally block characters. So, but again, in the universe, they're seen as that way. Aaron is seen as, you know, the the tortured emo bad boy, and therefore he comes across with equal amounts of attraction to said trope, I think. And in the case of Through Her Eyes, I hope that I've tapped into that idea of achieving enthusiasm for something over the relationship itself. I mean, heck, I hope I've done that with Morwenna and Marwick, quite frankly. Even though they're so young. I feel like a relationship can happen at any time. I'm back on a road again. On the road again. I hate being back on the road again. 'Cause when I'm talking you can't hear anything. Oh, I can't wait to get off the road again. So as I was saying, I feel like a relationship can develop at any age, you know. Sometimes characters are like, this can be really young. Sometimes people can be really young when they find their significant other. Like, I just recently saw on the Instagram of a friend of mine from secondary school, you know, that she's celebrating her 21st birthday. And she's been dating the same guy since at least year 10. It happened again. Right, so year 10 would be 9th grade. And yeah, they've been dating ever since. So I don't know how old we'd have been then, like 15. So yeah, 15 minus 21, 6 years. 6 years that they've been together since, you know, they were almost as young as Morwenna and Marwick themselves. Okay, well, I'm not gonna say if they get back together. No, not they back together. They're not broken up. I mean, I'm not gonna say if they stay together forever. Because honestly, I'm still writing the story. You know, even almost 2 years later, and it's still evolving. So it could go anywhere, quite frankly. But yeah, we'll find out basically. The same with Phoenix and Empress. Are they going to stay together? I won't say. I've decided their fate already. In fact, I decided before they even started dating. This was all like pre-planned time to season 2. But yeah, we'll find out. Well, you'll find out, because I know. So, but yeah, it can happen at any time. It's not like just because you're young, you can't have a big connection. That was part of the point of puppy love as well. You know, that can be something just as real, even if you're as young as the characters are in that, which is 10 years old. Will that come out? I don't know. And will a Siren musical be as long-running a series as The Mutant Girl? I don't know either. I'm going to focus on this season for now, and I'll figure it out as I go along. So, until then, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters. If videos are slow, you now know why, because of the computer, but I will carry on trying to at least produce something in between. Maybe I'll do more streams. But on that note, until next time, farewell!